बैठो बैठो बैठो, टेस्ट लिखो आराम से। हाँ स्टार्ट करो, लिखो लिखो। दिस इज अ गुड वन, आई कैन सी। ऑनलाइन बच्चों अपना वीडियो ऑन कर सकते हो? कौन कौन कर सकता है? अरे तुम लोग टेस्ट लिखो या मेरे को क्या देख रहे हो? टेस्ट लिखो। ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स, कैन यू हियर मी? हाँ आई कैन सी यू ऑल नाउ। गुड, चलो अच्छा है। लिखो लिखो आप लोग भी टेस्ट लिखो। राइट समथिंग। लगा दो। किस किस का रिवीजन अभी हो रहा है? किस किस ने घर जाके रिवाइज किया था? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू रिवाइज्ड yesterday your notes? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12। बाकियों ने क्यों नहीं किया? व्हाई? नॉट एबल टू लिसन। देखो आवाज नहीं आ रही शायद बच्चों को। हाँ, so why did you not revise? टाइम नहीं मिला? बहुत बिजी हो, क्या कर रहे थे ऐसा? सुबह सुबह से कुछ टाइम मिला फिलोसफी के लिए? 24 घंटे हो गए ना हमारी क्लास को? 24 घंटे में से आधा घंटा 1 घंटा। देखो ऐसे ही उड़ जाता है टाइम, है ना? टाइम फ्लाइज एंड इट गोज लाइक दिस। सो इफ यू डोंट रिवाइज, आफ्टर सम टाइम all these things will appear alien. It's not just with GS, it's also with the same with the philosophy. If you don't revise economy or history or maybe whatever polity, after some time it will start appearing alien. You will feel like, okay, let us attend the classes again. It disappears rather, yes. So it feels like let's do the class again. And if you want to retain your classes, you must revise, must definitely revise. So this was the surprise test just to let you know that you should be revised. How many are confident that you will be able to write answer? Okay, so a lot of people are confident, so right. Just check the audio. Hello? Audible. Okay, done. Okay. So how many? More time. 2 minutes. You have written? Very good. I will discuss. Don't worry. You people received your notes? Printed notes? I have made them absolutely elaborative. No need to touch anything here and there now. So you people haven't read or revised class notes. How can I expect you people to read printed notes? Anybody who has read printed notes or tried to read? हाँ, पक्का से ऊंचा करो अपना हाथ. हाँ, पार्ट 1. हाँ, पार्ट 1 बताओ किस किसने पढ़ लिया? हाँ, अच्छे से हाथ खड़ा करो. बाकी लोग देखो इन्हें. कितने सारे बच्चों ने खड़ा किया हाथ? करा है ना? फिर ऐसे ही बच्चे सेलेक्ट भी हो जाते हैं. No online students, nothing is missing. So the moment video stopped, we also stopped. So we will continue with from the world itself. Mind and body parallelism excludes materialism and idealism. Please explain. I will explain it, ma'am. When we get our printed notes, ma'am, once the notes are complete from our side, because I am including all the sources from wherever I can find good information for your philosophers. So once they are complete, we will send you the printed notes. Don't worry. Till then, you can use your, we are giving you, providing you the PDFs. We are getting PDFs in Telegram group, right? बेटा प्रिंट आउट करवा लो जाके. हाँ. So tell me, what was difficult in writing about substance? Anything difficult? Were you able to write? If there any problem, discuss. You were able to write? Intro conclusion will come later on. So intro and conclusion, you should start writing something basic right for now. The advanced form of intro and conclusion you will start understanding once you have written many answers. You know, so it's something like this. Can I teach you how to be a good friend? No, it cannot be taught. It has to be learned and it comes from inside. Similarly is the introduction and conclusion. The moment your knowledge is very concretized, moment you have learned things, right now you haven't learned things and your connections are very loose. You know, your connections are very loose. So sometimes you will be thinking substance is something eternal and then suddenly attributes will come. Our attributes also, the connections are loose. खड़ 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 वाला थोड़ा सा अभी माहौल रहेगा. And this will continue for your 4-5 revisions. The moment you have crossed 5 revisions or maybe 6 revisions. After that, things will start solidifying. And with each revision, you will start to have some new revelations in the theory itself. So after some time, you will read it again. second day, third day, fourth day, then like, oh, अच्छा ये कहा था. And then one thing will be, one nut will be screwed. Then second revision, another loose end will be fastened. So this is how your philosophy will become strengthened with each revision. And after 6-7 revisions, you will have a clear idea of what Spinoza is and what he is speaking about and what is the flow of the whole philosopher. But that flow will come only if you make 4-5 revisions, 6 revisions. And after that, when you write at least 4-5 answers, then what will happen? You know, it will come to you immediately. You will see a question and you will know what to write in an introduction. For your curiosity, if we see, so this question is asking about substance. What can be the introduction here? Tell me. Yes, in his book, Ethica, Spinoza has defined substance as something which, ultimate reality, which is independent for its existence and for its knowledge. This means it is both metaphysically and epistemologically independent. Perfect. Such a good answer, such a good introduction. Why is it a good introduction? Straight to the point. This shows the examiner that you know what is substance and what is the definition of Spinoza specifically. And you have also included 2 keywords, metaphysically and epistemologically independent. भाई उसने मन बना लिया एग्जामिनर ने तुम्हें मार्क्स देने का. Only with the introduction itself, they have decided कि इस बच्चे को above average marks आएंगे. The student will get above average marks. And now you start writing. What will you write in body? Tell me. Definition तो हो गया introduction में. Okay. Features of substance. So will you write all the points or you can make a diagram? You will make a diagram. Easy. So many points included. Okay. After that. अरे पहले ये तो खत्म होने दो. हाँ. He used, rather, you know, before telling the features, shouldn't we use geometric method here? Isn't it? Because a lot of features will actually be derived from its geometric method. Can you see that we should not place it here? We should place it here. Okay. After you have placed geometric method, a little bit about the mathematical approach that he has adopted. After that, features, then some deductions he has made out of it. But deductions, should they come here or above features? Deductions will be made after what? Geometric method? Features में भी डाल सकते हो. Deductions लेकिन अगर लिखनी है तो कहाँ लिखनी है? After geometric, because from geometric method itself he is making deductions. समझ में आ रही है? लिखना सब कुछ है. You all will write everything. You all will write these topics or these headings only. We are just rearranging according to the logical flow. Okay. So deductions here, then features, then next implications. Then you write the implications of किसका implications? हाँ, मैं geometric method का मत लिख देना. Of substance. Fine. Then a little bit mention about parallelism, attributes. पहले parallelism आएगा या attributes आएंगे? Attributes आएंगे, बिल्कुल सही. पहले attributes आएंगे, modes आएंगे और फिर parallelism आएंगे. And in conclusion, अब बहुत कुछ लिख दिया, जगह बची नहीं है. जगह बची है क्या? तो बहुत थोड़ी सी जगह के अंदर फटाफट से क्या लिखेंगे हम? Criticism. And at the end, you will write about the importance of Spinoza's concept of substance and a little about blessedness. वो हम अभी discuss करेंगे, conatus और blessedness. And at last, you will just mention, बिल्कुल बचाते बचाते एकदम आखिरी के अंदर, Leibniz. That how Spinoza's philosophy was taken forward by pre-established harmony of Leibniz. समझ में आया? किसको नहीं आया? भाई साहब, आप बताओ. नहीं नहीं यार, नाम बताओ तुम लोग. मैं तुम्हारे नाम नहीं याद कर पा रही हूँ. अमन, विजय. You can mention as you want, but it should form a logical flow. You can, like, if you are really skilled at writing answers now, you can even start your answer with blessedness, or maybe the concept of bondage and liberation of Spinoza, and still it will feel that it has a logical flow. Maybe you can mention parallelism at the end, but still, or maybe in the starting, but still you can make it come in a logical flow. This is the art. It is like filmmaking. So there are a lot of films or movies where when you see the story, you become engaged. You feel you cannot replace any scene with another scene. If something was not told at this point, it could not have been told at any other point. Do you feel sometimes in movie? But there are some movies you feel like, why the unnecessary stretch? You know, do you feel that जबरदस्ती का fighting scene डाल दिया, या जबरदस्ती का comedy scene डाल दिया, So that जबरदस्ती का comedy scene or fighting scene, that is the problem. Similar is the problem with your answer. When you put something which is not required there, you put something and give too much space which is not required. This shows that as an officer, you are not able to discern your priorities. You're not able to squeeze things when required, and you're not able to expand things when required. If you're not able to manage your space and time, space means copy sheet and time means time management, will you be able to do it when you go in service? Simple? Can you understand why is it very important in answer writing? Okay, fine. How many of you think that you have written a good answer after this? No one? How many of you will rate yourself 70%? 70%. Okay. 50%? 50%. Okay. उसके नीचे वालों का मैं देखूंगी नहीं. Okay. Class is working fine on mobile. अरे तुम लोग तो fine और non fine ही करते रह रहे हो. हाँ. Ma'am, can you give us an idea how to plan revisions with so many subjects in place? Okay. Revision plan, I will tell you. Let's finish Spinoza. After that, if we have time, then we will do it. Next, how to end the answer? I told you, introduction and conclusion will take time. Problem is, if I tell you some introductions and conclusions, that will fit into your mind. Next time you write Spinoza, you will write those introductions and conclusions, but they may not be right for every topic of Spinoza. And I would want you to evolve, right? Maybe whatever I tell you is very normal, but you may be able to think much better introduction than me, isn't it? So first you give me, you let yourself develop to a level, and after that, of course, when you will be taking mains, I will be there for you. We will discuss, we will revise, we will do things. Don't worry. Don't worry about philosophy in your mains. Fine. We will do it, whatever is required. I'll give you keywords, mind map, whatever is required. Don't worry. Okay? But Till then, use your mind and use your hand. Right. Next. Should we get any books regarding this one? No. Do not buy any books. If you buy, you are, malab, it's your risk. It's not mine. I will not take the risk of buying too many books, because problem is there is no specific book for philosophy optional. All the books are there which are generic philosophy books. Generic philosophy books means that they are used by PhD students or maybe BA, MA students for their studies. So these are research books. These are not exactly tailored to the demand of UPSC. So you don't have to buy any book. If you are really missing books in philosophy, then what can you do? There are some standard books of, these are also philosophical orientation and research orientation, but you can still buy. There is a book, Why Must See? There is a book with the name Why Must See for Western philosophy. If you really want to buy, you can buy. But whatever is important, I already include in the notes. Whatever is important. Next, नीचे करो. How does body and mind exclude materialism and idealism? So materialism means that matter is primary and soul is secondary. That all the functions of soul are just the functions of matter. This means secretions of hormones by body itself is causing thinking or love or feeling. So emotions are what? Just the effect of some chemical release, like as is believed in science. So matter is primary. Matter is the most important supreme thing. What is idealism? Where soul is primary and matter is secondary. Soul is primary means that these idealistic philosophies mean that mind is the only reality and matter is just the fiction or a kind of an illusion experienced by mind. The only reality is mind. If you are not able to get hold of it, wait till Berkeley. Once we complete Berkeley, idealism will be very clear to you. Fine. And why the parallelism of Spinoza discounts both? Because is mind supreme in Spinoza's philosophy? Is matter supreme? No. Both are parallel, same importance. So we cannot call Spinoza's philosophy as materialism, neither can we call it as. So it has created a new kind of category through its parallelism. Simple? You can write. You can write in paragraph form, you can form separate headings, you can also write in points. You can do that. Absolutely, you can do that. So, writing is all about skill. And there is no set pattern. There are some people who can write so lucid in paragraph form. You read their answer. They can concise all the information in less words. But there are some people who are not able to write in paragraph form, because if they start writing in paragraph form, what happens? Too much, because they cannot control their emotions when they are writing. And they keep writing. And this is the problem of humanities student, majorly. And because they have been trained by the universities and the colleges to fill the sheets. And now they are in habit of filling sheets with random, irrelevant information. So now when they write, what happens? They don't know where to, how to concise. Problem is reversed with engineers and students of technical background. Now they don't know how to write. They want to write everything in point format. And when they write in point format, problem is, can I teach you philosophy in point format? Can philosophy be taught in point format? Because you need explanation. You need interlinking. That substance should be connected with attributes. Attributes should be connected with modes. And how all of these are connected with each other, it cannot be explained in points. It has to be explained in lucid paragraph form or a conversation form. So science background students have this problem. They want to write in points. So it's better to adopt a strategy. So humanities should try to concise their answers and engineers should try to write in paragraph form with linking each part. Yes. एक ही बात कह रहे हैं. The substance is, the nature of substance is infinite. And the substance has how many attributes? Infinite attributes. Each attribute, so this is one of the infinite attributes. Each attribute is expressed in substance infinitely. Infinitely. So this means if one of the attribute of substance is thought or cognition, so world has infinite cognition or infinite thought. World has infinite extension. Infinite extension. Is there any limit to is there any limit to extension in this world, in this existence? Any limit to thought? So these things are expressed infinitely. And when these infinite attributes become bounded in a small mode, when they come together and bounded in a small mode, it becomes modification or mode. So this is substance, this is attributes. From attributes, these are infinite modes and these are finite modes. Finite modes means human beings, frog, table, anything which is finite is finite mode. But the infinite mode means the thought itself is infinitely present. Extension itself is infinitely present. Clear? Can you clearly understand this? Substance means whole. Within this substance, there are infinite attributes. Out of the attributes, 2 attributes only we can know: thought and extension, body or mind. And when they start expressing, they becomes infinite modes. There are these two infinite modes are running parallelly to each other. When these infinite modes get caught in a finite modification, they come together in a finite modification, it is known as finite mode. Finite modes means anything which is particular, like humans, table, chair, bird, insect, anything, mountain, river, anything and everything means finite mode. Clear? Let us write. Estimate and evaluation depends. Mostly it is positive because the bad thing about philosopher has already been said in the criticism. No, we should not write introduction without. You people are not writing introduction in your introduction. You're not starting your answer by writing this. No, na? You don't have to write this introduction body. This should be in your head. Just, you don't have to write it. Okay. Related through cause and effect. Everything is related to cause and effect. That's okay. World. Yes, of course. In starting, you can use your brainstorming and what do you say? Arranging your answers for the start. I'll teach you. Don't worry. When we will start. Right now, we are not seriously writing answers. We are just we are completing syllabus, and in between, I just don't want you people to lose your keep revising and don't want to you people to lose touch with the writing. That is why we are writing. But so after you are thorough. So right now, if I tell you about answer writing, you won't get anything. No benefit. I'll tell you why. Because all will be theory. Because you people have not actually written answers. And when you have not written answers, you cannot understand the problems of writing answers. You cannot understand what are the issues that you face while writing answers. And once you have written around like 100 answers, then you know what are the challenges and how it needs to be done. And then we discuss. So this rearranging part I have told you, but many of you will still not be able to use it because right now you are not clear what is geometric method, what are features, what are criticisms. You may be knowing the heading, but you have not learned it. Yeah? Had anybody of you learned it, and had anybody of you had really like the stage which will come after some time, then you will ask different questions to me. Then you will ask, ma'am, there are 7 criticisms or 6 criticisms. Which criticism should we focus more on? We cannot write all. Then how or which criticisms are more important? So your questions will change. But till the time you have not revised, you have not learned, I will give this basic thing. So first write 100 answers, then we will discuss about answer writing. Fine? Okay. No, there is no philosopher which has not been criticized. Next heading, world. For Spinoza, mind is the idea of the body. For Spinoza, mind is the idea of body, full stop. According to Spinoza, for every finite mode of extension, according to Spinoza, for every finite mode of extension, there also exists according to Spinoza, for every finite mode of extension, there also exists a finite mode of thought. A finite mode of thought that corresponds to it from from which it is not really different. From which it is not really different. First point. For each simple body, there exists a simple idea. For each simple body, there exists a simple idea that corresponds to it. Simple idea that corresponds to it. Second, in composite bodies, there exists a composite idea. In composite bodies, there exists a composite idea that corresponds to it. That corresponds to it. Next point. Because humans have a complex bodies, therefore idea or minds of humans are therefore ideas and minds therefore ideas and minds of human are more evolved and complex. More evolved or complex. Next point. Spinoza counts all these ideas, whether simple or complex or composite. Spinoza counts all these ideas. Spinoza counts all these ideas, whether simple or composite, as minds. Simple or composite as minds. Therefore, he does not consider human mind to be unique. Therefore, he does not consider human mind to be unique. Full stop. According to him, human idea corresponds to human body. According to him, human idea corresponds to human body. Full stop. Some minds have greater abilities. Some minds have greater abilities because of the greater capacity of body. Some minds have greater abilities because of the greater capacity of bodies of acting and being acted upon. Body of acting and being acted upon. Being acted upon. Full stop. In simple terms, if a body is more capable, if body is more capable, then corresponding mind or idea will be more capable. Corresponding mind or idea will be more capable and will be able to perceive many things at a time. Will be able to perceive many things at once or at a time. So now he has given a very interesting theory. So interesting theory is in the sense, this is substance. These two are attributes. This is infinite mode. These are finite modes. Now in this finite modes, there are numerous there is huge diversity. So give me some examples of finite modes. Elephants, humans, trees, birds, insects, table, rock. It's fine. Huge spectrum. Lot of diversity we have taken. So now, according to Spinoza, cognition and extension are found in all of them. All of them is having both cognition and extension. Now, why is that tree is less conscious or less intelligent than human beings? Or maybe birds. Why? Or why birds are appearing to be less conscious and less thoughtful or less intelligent with less will than human beings? Structure of its body. So now Spinoza says that if a being or thing is having simple body, then mind will be simple, because this body can tolerate, or this body can actually support simple mind. Therefore, if body is simple, then mind will be simple. As the complexity of body increases, so does the complexity of mind. One of the most complex bodies are found in human beings, according to Spinoza. And isn't it complex? So many processes going on at its own. This hormone, that hormone, and whatnot. All the systems are running. Very complexity, very complex system. Therefore, what kind of mind should it be able to support? A complex or a composite mind, which can think, which can perceive many things at the same time. Like, many of you might be sitting in class, yet thinking about something else. Also, looking at your phone. At the same time, thinking about the person in phone. A lot of things can happen at the same time. You can perceive a lot of things. This is because your mind is composite. And your mind is composite actually because the body is composite. So according to him, nearly all of the nature or universe is intelligent. Everything is intelligent, but in different quantum. While humans are very intelligent, they can perceive a lot of things, they can sense a lot of things, they can plan a lot of things, but birds cannot, or elephants cannot. And even below them, less thoughtful, less willful are trees. So trees don't go like, I'm going to shop. मैं shopping पे जाती नहीं करते. Or become things which are appearing to be knowledge. So, but according to Spinoza, there is a mind, or there is an idea in them also. But because their bodies are so simple, the mind they are carrying are very simple. It's not able to perceive. It is not able to perceive too much. Example. So ये समझाते हैं. But this example has not been given by Spinoza. This is my example. So do not quote it in your examinations. So more sensitive a person is, or more intelligent a person is, that person will be, sorry, that person will be able to gauge the sarcasm. जैसे ऐसे मैंने बोला, बड़े मेहनती बच्चे हो, है ना, कितनी मेहनत कर रहे हो, अब तुम लोग क्यों हंसे? Why did you laugh when I said that you are really hardworking? Why? है ना? You could understand the sarcasm. You could even understand what I did not say. I was saying something else, but you understood the intention behind it. I have not said that you are lazy, procrastinator. Have I said it? I said you are so hardworking, but you all laughed. Because you understood what I was saying, what I was intending to say. Maybe somebody who is less intelligent, they will go by directly by the word, yes ma'am, we are hardworking. And they will start thinking that I have praised them. This means that they go literally. They are not able to understand, they are not able to perceive the hidden meaning of it. Less intelligent? A little more less intelligent. Maybe some bird sitting here. And I told that bird also, you are hardworking. She's like, sound making. Pata nahi kaun sound make kar hai na? Noise. So she's not understanding. The bird is not able to understand what is the meaning of my words. According to the bird, it might be just a noise. Nothing more than that. And I said the same thing to this table also. Isn't it? But table was not even able to comprehend what I said. Even though it had some cognition or thought, but the level of perception is really low. Just like bird, not able to understand what I'm saying. to them, or it might just be a sound. To this table, it might just be a noise, hazy noise, maybe. We don't know, according to Spinoza. Can you understand what we mean by different levels of bodies and cognition? So the kind of body a species has is the kind of mind it will have. More composite body, more composite mind, in simple terms. But according to Spinoza, complete universe, world is having both extension and thought. सब में है, लेकिन क्या सब में मानना चाहिए? According to Spinoza, everything is having both cognition and extension. So this table is also having cognition, maybe of very small level, very limited level, but it is there, according to Spinoza. So now people will criticize, of course. We will write. Can you understand what he said? पक्का? क्या हुआ? परेशान क्यों हो रही हो? समझ में आ गया? पक्का? बताओ. सही बात, सच में आ गया. चेहरा देख के लगा नहीं था. ठीक है, ओके फाइन, राइट. No. This is a philosophical interpretation you are making. Don't make it. Right? For Spinoza, universe is intelligent and everything in the universe is intelligent. And more, if the body is simple, mind or soul will be simple. As the complexity of the body will increase, so will the mind and mind's complexity will increase. Simple. Okay. Next, right. Criticism. First, here Spinoza has disregarded the evolution of mind. Here, Spinoza has disregarded the evolution of mind from lesser to a greater level, from simple to a complex level, from simple to complex level. Second, panpsychism, 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 PANPSYCHISM. Underline and then write. According to the theory of parallelism, Spinoza has accepted every physical activity. Should be accompanied by a parallel mental activity. Should be accompanied by a parallel mental activity. This means there is mind everywhere. This means there is mind everywhere and in everything. There is mind everywhere and in everything. Example, there is a mind in a table. There is a mind in table. Full stop. But according to this notion of panpsychism, according हटा दो, But this notion of panpsychism is not a fact. This notion of panpsychism is not a fact according to science. Panpsychism, can you read again? Tell me if there is any doubt. Clear? Evolution of mind. He has explained mind on the basis of body. He has denied the independent evolution of mind. Yes, he's saying, but he's denying the biological independent evolution of mind. Maybe the body remains the same. Like human beings, maybe our bodies are not becoming more complex from Homo sapiens to Homo sapiens sapiens. But the mind is evolving. अगर हम साइंस के हिसाब से देखें, but the mind is evolving. So he has denied that. According to him, there must be a change in body to have any change in. There must be a change in body. For example, again, it leads to another very important thing. Now, there is this parallel thing going on. So in extension or in body, a person has just put a hand on a candle or maybe a fire. तो आग के ऊपर उसने रख दिया हाथ. So the moment something changed in body, there will be pain in mental sphere. दर्द होगा ना, दिमाग में आएगा कि हटाओ 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 हाथ, ये क्या हो गया. So pain in mental sphere. Now, according to science, how is it working? According to science, the moment we put our hand on fire, then the neurons, nerves travel towards the brain, and then they gives a motor reflex towards your hand, and you pull your hand back. This is how it works. Or it gives signal to your brain, okay, now there is a sensation of pain. This is how it works in science. But according to Spinoza, this is now not how it works. So the moment you put a hand on fire, there is some change in body. Correspondingly, there will be a change in mind, which will get reflected as pain directly. So this will happen, this will immediately happen. And this change will happen why? Because both are part of an overall structure of substance. So if one thing changes, another thing will correspondingly change. Have you seen those complex machines where when you change one girdle or you move one cog, all the connected wheels start moving till the how many of you have seen a wristwatch working? You have seen wristwatch working? So moment a seconds move, all small changes, and everything starts moving in a watch. And at the end, when the complete cycle is done, needle moves. So the Spinoza is saying something like this. Here he's not saying that this is causing this. Is putting your hand on fire causing you pain? This is science, that this is causing you pain. For Spinoza, this is happening and correspondingly mental activity is pain. This is not causing. Cause means cause. First there is cause and then there is effect. ये पहले है, ये बाद में है. क्या यहाँ पे पहले बाद में है? नहीं. यहाँ पे क्या है? Parallel, simultaneous. Simultaneously it is happening. This is what Spinoza thought. And this is what his theory of parallelism is. Can you understand this? Notes are there in your printed notes, parallelism. You read it from there. Very exhaustive notes, don't worry. If you have any doubt in the concept, then ask. Pakka? Nearly. All. How mind capacity depends on the capacity of body, it depends on the size of the body or anything. No, no, no. It's not about the size. Else, elephant is much bigger than us. It's about the complexity of the body. The more composite, more functions body has, more complex or more functions and the perceptive ability the mind will have, in simple terms. Can you understand this parallelism? How is it different from science? Clear? Such complex questions have not been asked. I also will show you today past year question papers, but we should be very clear and thorough with the understanding and concepts. Fine? Okay. Next, third point. Pantheism. Pantheism. God is equal to world and nature. God is equal to world and nature. Full stop. All is God and God is in all. All is God and all is God and God is in all. Which means God is equal to world processes. Which means God is equal to world processes. Which means God is entirely immanent. Which means God is entirely immanent in the world. Immanent in the world. This leads to abstract monism. This leads to abstract monism. Abstract monism. तो पैंथिज्म का मतलब क्या है? God is everything and everything is God. Everything is God. मिट्टी, कीचड़, cockroach, according to science. Everything is God and God is in everything. So will you be able to hate anybody? Will you be able to hurt anybody? Ethics of Spinoza. And how do you navigate this life? Now coming to the very important question of determinism and freedom. We will write it and we will keep understanding also. But how it works? पहले एक फ्लो चार्ट बना लो, है ना? दो फ्लो चार्ट बना लेते हैं, फिर उसको डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके, नेक्स्ट टॉप. ये वाला आउट हो गया. पैंथिज्म समझ में आ गया. Pantheism we will also do in philosophy of religion. There also it will come. There also a lot of criticisms will come, a lot of details will come. So don't worry. You read it here also a little bit and we will do it extensively there also. Because there we will study all the theisms. Pantheism, monotheism, polytheism, all the theism. Okay. Next heading. Freedom and determinism. Freedom and determinism. World is run on the basis of cause and effect. Within causes, there are two types of causes. One are external causes. External causes can also be known as external influences. Isn't it? बना रहे हो ना साथ साथ? बनाओ. External influence, external nature, external factor, whatever you want to call. from this external influence or nature leads to bondage, determinism, inadequate ideas, emotions, feeling, यहीं से इसके बाद emotions and feelings या फिर actions under बना लिया। क्या हो, क्या नहीं दिख रहा भाई? नहीं दिख रहा, अब दिख रहा। inadequate ideas, actions under emotions and feelings, actions under emotions and feelings. बना लिया, बना लिया। Adequate ideas, यहाँ से दिखेगा नहीं बच्चों को। What does it mean by God is immanent? What does it mean by God is immanent? God is here in this world everywhere. Ma'am, but as you make us believe that we are tired and we feel in our body, so Spinoza is correct. अरे नहीं नहीं, Spinoza is not correct according to science, because we have evidence of this neural pathways now. Can you write? हो गया? So let's start interpreting it. Now tell me, can you understand something just by this chart also? We have discussed all this. I just thought we'll put it in a chart. So world is of the nature cause and effect. Everything that is happening in this world is happening as cause and effect. So this chain is going on. So mostly we all are guided by external causes, factors, influences, or natures. External, everything is external. So things are happening around us and we are just reacting to the external causes. Until the time we are just reacting without any thinking, we are in bondage. We are just bounded by the processes of this world. So somebody comes, start abusing you, you will be angry. Determinism, you will say something back. The person also becomes aggressive. He hits you. Then you also hit him back. Then there is a fight. After some time, he also has a IPS friend. You get him to jail. He gets you to jail. Then you also contact somebody, your uncle. You come out and give him, hire some mafias. After some time, khandani dushmani. So what is this? External determinism. Simple determinism. You make friends. Your friends tell you something, and you become influenced. You start acting according to whatever the influence is. Bondage, determinism. You meet a person, you know there will be troubles, but you still go ahead. Determinism. All of this is inadequate ideas. When you have not thought rationally and reasonably, rather you are just moving ahead without any thought, with inadequate ideas. Your ideas are not clear. Your ideas are inadequate. This is a technical term, inadequate ideas. Don't put it bad idea. No, inadequate ideas. This means you just lack clarity over things. You may not be a bad person, but you lack clarity. So this is inadequate ideas. And from inadequate ideas, it means taking decisions or actions under the guidance of emotions and feelings or passions. So you are emotional, too much emotional about things. So rather than rationally understanding them or anything, you try to find emotions in it. And then what happens? Confusion and pain. And the life is troubled. Simple. On the other hand, this is the normal most of the time. Most of the people, 99.9% people, more than that, 99.99999% people like this. 0.00001% people like this. So what happens? So these are the people who, rather than getting influenced from external things, they focus on their internal factors, internal nature. What do they want? What do they exactly want to do in a particular situation? What rather they should do in this particular situation? So rationally thinking, so they let their guide be reason or rationality. They try to think any subject, any topic, any person, anything through reason and rationality. Therefore, they have clarity. Because they have clarity, this means they have adequate ideas. And with adequate ideas, they have better understanding of life and nature. They know how things work. They know how. So just as the moment we knew how gravity works, made us a little more intelligent. Similarly, how this world works makes us a more intelligent being. Just say, if you give this your smartphone to someone from a tribal community who has never seen outside world, what will they do with this phone? What will they do? What a tribal person will do with this phone? They will get scared. They might throw it. They might use it as a weapon. They might use it as a light, because sometimes it might have light, and they might think that it is a miracle and might start praying it before the battery dies. Isn't it? So the problem is that they don't know its usage. They don't understand what it is. Therefore, they are not able to use it appropriately. Similar is the case with a person who doesn't understand the world, is not able to live appropriately. But supposedly, you people know how to use your smartphone. You can utilize it better because you understand what will happen if you click what, how you can use it, how you can message, interact, do chat or whatever and whatnot. So you understand, that is why you can better navigate it. Similarly, if you understand the nature and the life and the world, or the substance or the God, same thing. All of these things are same. If you understand life, nature, universe, God, substance, then your life will be better, because you will have less pain, less heartbreaks, less expectations, and you will be having peace of mind. You will be more happy, more pleasurable. And this is what the philosophy is all about. What is good life? So he told you a way, good life. So this is bondage. Then this must be liberation. This is the path of liberation. And finding this liberation or finding this internal causes is known as conatus. This finding is to find this internal or rational being inside us is known as conatus. And once you find your conatus, you receive blessedness. So blessedness is एकदम शांत जीवन. वो वाले लोग देखे वो बुद्धा वाली स्टेज पे. What is this बुद्धा वाली stage? They understand how things work. You go to them. So it's like you go to them. आग लग गई तो मुझको क्या, तुम्हारे ही घर में लग गई तो तुझको क्या. Simple. समझ में आया? So chill people working with reason and rationality. क्या पता. So can you understand? Like you can apply it everywhere in your life, everywhere. So if you have unclear ideas about your preparation, then you can put not selection here. If you have clarity, reason, rationality, then you can put selection here. Isn't it? You can apply it everywhere in your life. Okay. Clear? Any doubts? Clear? Yes, he's trying to, he's one of the very few philosophers who have tried to find some way for troubles of this world, but one of the very few, very, very few. And now there is also these debates that keep going on, that Indian philosopher or Indian thinkers always say that Spinoza was inspired by Shankaracharya's philosophy. Someone took a copy of Shankaracharya's philosophy and somehow Spinoza got hold of that book and he got inspired and he interpreted it into his own way, in his own language, and gave his theory of substance. Now, there are no evidences for such claims, and neither there are any refutations. Can we check? Spinoza is dead. Neighbors of Spinoza is dead. Person who might have taken that book, dead. So we don't know whether there was any book, whether someone took it or not, whether he really got inspired or he thought of himself. We don't know. But all of these conspiracy theories keep going on. So we don't have to think about such theories. So, but it's just that, yes, he's very close to Shankaracharya's philosophy. Not absolutely same, but close. Okay, right. First point. ये बना लिया सबने? According to Spinoza, only substance is absolutely independent. According to Spinoza, only Spinoza is absolutely independent. Only substance is absolutely independent. And free. And free. Full stop. He has discussed human freedom and determinism. He has discussed human freedom and determinism in his book, Ethics. Determinism in his book, Ethics. Full stop. Here, Spinoza has established his ethical theory. Here, Spinoza has established his ethical theory, which is closely interlinked with his metaphysical theory. Which is closely interlinked with his metaphysical theory. Metaphysical theory. Second point, according to his metaphysics, substance is the only reality. According to his metaphysics, substance is the only reality which is self-caused and self-determined. Which is self-caused and self-determined. Full stop. The self-determination brings necessity to act. The self-determination brings necessity to act. According to its own nature. Self-determination brings necessity to act according to its own nature, and when everything is necessarily based on the nature of substance, when everything is necessarily based on the nature of substance, then Spinoza says that there is necessity everywhere. Then Spinoza says there is necessity everywhere. So this substance works on its principle of determinism because the substance is self-determined. It determines its own nature and this nature is fixed. So everything happens the way it is about to happen. Can you change anything what is happening? Maybe a small window here and there, but you cannot change what and how things are happening. Things will necessarily happen in the way they are happening. Necessarily. It is what it is. No change. You can write here also inverted commas. It is what it is. No change. We cannot change what is happening. We can just be reasonable and rational and just be happy about your own selves. We can just save ourselves from pain. But can you save any other person? You can at most save yourself from pain. At most. Just. So if you become emotional about it, you will be in pain. If you become rational about it, you will be in a better position. Just that. Else what is happening, how is it happening, nothing we can change according to Spinoza. Next point. Spinoza has defined freedom as necessity to act. Spinoza has defined freedom as necessity to act by one's own nature. Necessity to act by one's own nature. And causal power. One's own nature and causal power. Full stop. By its definition, only substance is free. By its definition, only substance is free. But Spinoza still needs a small space. But Spinoza still needs or creates a small space. For freedom and individual too. Creates a small space for freedom of individual. तो सब कुछ कैसे चलता है जनरली? ऐसे बहुत ही छोटी सी विंडो है. So everything happens like this, but there is a very small window where you can use this. You can self-determine what you want to do. But it is really difficult. It is really difficult, and Spinoza himself is saying that it is not an easy path. Not everybody can move on this path. Not everybody can. Rarely someone will take courage and move on the path of reason. Because the moment you move on the path of reason, people working with emotions they will not understand you, and you will not be able to understand. तो जैसे कि एक बच्चा था, तो उसने पढ़ाई नहीं करी, पूरा साल खेलता रहा, एंड में फेल हो गया, and then he started crying. So now a wise person, a monk came, and he said, why are you crying? So he said, because I failed. He said, don't you know, you were getting failed because you were not studying. Yes, I knew, but then why are you crying? So people will not be able to understand. भाई क्यों रो रहा है? समझ आ रहा है? पता था ना, ये तो होना था. So pain means if something happened, you didn't know. But what was going to happen, and you were knowing all through the way that it is going to happen, then what is the point of crying now? Can you understand? But is it difficult? Is it easy? That is why it is very, very difficult. So Spinoza himself is knowing and saying that it's not an easy path. It is very difficult. Even if I tell you about it, even if I give you all the directions, still, rarely somebody will take up this path. Okay, continue. Because everything is substance, because everything in substance is determined, because, next point, because everything in substance is determined means that everyone is part of an infinite chain. Means that everyone is part of an infinite chain of cause and effect. Infinite chain of cause and effect. Full stop. Further, all of us are influenced by external causes. Further, all of us are influenced by external causes. Therefore, the logical consequence is that we are not free. The logical consequence is that we are not free. Or rejection of free will. Or rejection of free will. Rejection of free will. Fine. Next heading, conatus. C-O-N-A-T-U-S, conatus. In bracket, you may write inner drive to preserve self. Inner drive inner drive to preserve self. Conatus. CONATUS. लिख लिया भैया सबने? Okay. According to Spinoza, every individual has a conatus. According to Spinoza, every individual has a conatus. Every individual has a conatus which he desires as inner drive. Every individual has a conatus which he desires as inner drive of every being. Of every being to persevere, 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 persevere in its existence. Persevere in its existence. Full stop. This is also understood as existential inertia. This is also known as existential inertia. Full stop. In human beings, Spinoza calls it vitality. In human beings, Spinoza calls it as vitality. 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 Full stop. Spinoza explains that our positive reason supports our conatus. Our positive reason supports our conatus, while negative passions will hinder it. While negative passions will hinder it. Full stop. Spinoza accepts that our passions and actions are based on adequate and inadequate ideas. Our passions and actions are based on adequate and inadequate ideas. Next paragraph. Inadequate ideas are confused ideas. Inadequate ideas. Underline कर लो या box में डाल लो inadequate ideas को. Inadequate ideas are confused ideas which are based on emotions, feelings, and passions. Which are based on emotions, feelings, and passions. Full stop. These ideas are caused by external influence. These ideas are caused by external influence. Full stop. These external influences are the cause of our bondage. Full stop. These external influences are the cause of our bondage. And we live most of our life, being swept away. Swept away मतलब बहना. Being swept away by pain and pleasure. By pain and pleasure caused by others. By pain and pleasure caused by others. Full stop. This pain and pleasure is usually the part of invariable chain of cause and effect. Part of invariable chain of cause and effect. Therefore, Spinoza's necessity comes into play. Therefore, Spinoza's necessity comes into play. Also known as determinism. Also known as determinism. Next paragraph. Spinoza also presented a way of overcoming these passions. Spinoza also presented a way of overcoming these passions, resulting in certain degree of freedom. Resulting in certain degree of freedom. How many of you are able to cope up the speed? How many of you are not? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Raise your hand. 6. और कौन है जो छुप के बैठा है? पक्का? Only 6 people? चेक कर लो कॉपी. हाँ? राइटिंग तो ठीक हो जाएगी. तो जो लोग नहीं लिख पा रहे, the people who are not able to write, what is the problem? You have to write. You people are writing with what? No. There are people who can write fast with gel pen. That's not the problem of pen. हाँ, what is the problem? कहाँ पे कौन कौन है? लास्ट के 2 वर्ड्स, चलो वो तो कोप अप हो जाएगा. और पता है क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? फोकस. Focus is missing. You are thinking about something बराबर वाला या ये वो. No. If you are completely focused on writing, if you can block out all the noises, all the thoughts while you are here present and writing, then you will be able to write fast. Let us try now. Can you try, you people? You 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. और बाकी कहाँ गए? कौन कौन थे? 5. नया एडिशन है. 6 पुराना है. एक और जो भी ठीक है. All the 6, 7 people now completely focus on listening. Except my voice, nothing should be. You should not focus on anything else. Fine. Let us try. क्यों? कुछ नहीं है. चुप, पढ़ाई करो. एक तो है ना फिलोसोफर बन गए हो आधे. चलो. Spinoza presents a way of overcoming these passions and resulting in certain degree of freedom. First off, according to Spinoza, freedom can be acquired by adequate ideas. Make a box on adequate ideas. And adequate ideas are acquired by, freedom can be acquired by adequate ideas, and adequate ideas are acquired by adequate causes. Adequate ideas are acquired by adequate causes. That is, to follow our own inner nature. that is to follow our own inner nature alone. In bracket, write no external influence or causes. No external influence or causes. Next paragraph. Spinoza says that for adequateness, Spinoza says that for adequate ideas, Spinoza says that for adequate ideas, we must base all our actions on, for adequate ideas, we must base all our actions on reason, and reason should become the central focus of our nature. Reason should become the central focus of our nature. Comma. This means we become less affected by passions and emotions and become less affected by passions and emotions and become more stable, and acquire peaceful state of being. Full stop. Next paragraph. According to Spinoza, it is only through reason that we are better able to understand situations, and become better, comma, become more virtuous and ethical in our actions. Become more virtuous and ethical in our actions. Therefore, for Spinoza, reason is primary base for reason is primary base for ethical actions. Reason is primary base for ethical actions. Next paragraph. Reason leads to adequate knowledge. Reason leads to adequate knowledge, which leads to better clarity, comma, which leads to better quality, comma. Better clarity will give distinct knowledge. Better clarity will give distinct knowledge, which gives rise to distinct knowledge, which gives rise to intuitive knowledge, which gives rise to intuitive knowledge. इंट्यूटिव नॉलेज क्या है? ब्रैकेट में लिख लो, अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ मोड्स, अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ मोड्स अंडर species of eternity, or understanding of particular things. Species of eternity, eternity मतलब हमेशा हमेशा के लिए टाइप्स, अभी बताऊंगी मैं इसके बारे में. Species of eternity or understanding of particular things as timeless substance. Understanding of particular things as timeless substance. Bracket close. Full stop. This understanding leads to the knowledge of God through intellectual love of God. Through intellectual love of God. This knowledge of God leads to blessedness. This knowledge of God leads to blessedness. In bracket of blessedness, you may write the state of contentment and state of contentment. Contentment मतलब संतुष्टि. Contentment and state of ultimate freedom. State of ultimate freedom. Do you want to make a flow chart of this paragraph? बनाओ, लिखो. पहला लिखो. ऐसे भी बना सकते हो, ऐसे भी बना सकते हो, जैसे मर्जी करें. देखो एग्जाम में इतनी जगह नहीं होती कि वर्टिकल बना सको, है ना? तो क्या करेंगे हम? इसको हॉरिजॉन्टल बनाएंगे. ऐसे खत्म. ओके. So first is reason. Reason leads to adequate ideas. Reason leads to adequate ideas, which leads to better clarity. Adequate ideas, better clarity, then distinct knowledge, then intuitive knowledge. Reason, adequate knowledge, better clarity, distinct knowledge, then intuitive knowledge, then intellectual love of God, knowledge of God, intellectual love of God, then knowledge of God, and then blessedness. Then blessedness. समझ में आ गया? हो गया तुम्हारा स्पाइनोजा. Ultimate freedom is when you understand everything to be part of substance. So when you see a table, you are not seeing just a table. You're not seeing a modification of table. Rather, you are seeing this table as modification of a substance. Like you're not seeing it as a particular, but you are seeing is that it as a substance, part of everything else. So when you are saying, there is a word we have written, species of eternity. Species means part of eternity. What is eternity? Substance. So substance exists for eternity. It exists as timeless substance. So when you see anyone or anything, you will not be able to hurt or harm it. Will you make bombs? If everything is substance, if everything is connected to you, if everything is the same, is that Anna? If everything is the same as substance, who will you kill? Do you cut your own hand? Cut. Kyun? It's part of you. It's part of you. And if you understand that we all are part of each other, then we will not hurt the other person also. So if a person understands Spinoza's philosophy, ethics will be followed without any laws. Law की जरूरत ही नहीं है कोई. Can you understand what deep ethics Spinoza follows? Will you destroy environment? No. You cannot destroy anything. You will love everything because it's just part of you, connected. Everything is connected. Something like this. And this is not something based on any faith. Is he saying that you will get punished? No. Is he saying you will get heaven or hell? No. On the basis of reason and reason alone, he has proved his metaphysical, epistemological, as well as ethical theory. Fine? So, can you understand the meaning of conatus? Blessedness? Okay, fine. So, let us see some past year question paper. First question. We have read two. Descartes' interactionism and Spinoza's parallelism. Just you have to write this only. That there are three rationalist philosophers who gave their theory to resolve this dilemma of body and mind dualism. So first start with Descartes. What is his conception of interactionism? What is body mind as relative substance? Then Spinoza, parallelism. Then third is Leibniz. Leibniz we will do pre-established harmony. So all three you will write. Then you will say, yet they were not able to solve because the solution will be provided by Strawson, the last of the philosophers. We will read. Strawson will resolve this body-mind dualism. But rather, he'll give a most appropriate solution. This is still haunting science as well as philosophy. Okay. Next question. Explain the nature of substance and its relation to attributes according to Spinoza. Anyone who cannot do this question? You can write? Everyone? Pakka? Next. State and critically examine Spinoza's doctrine of the identity of substance, God, and nature. Anybody who cannot write this answer? Online people? Everybody can write? Okay. Spinoza's conception of ultimate substance. Short notes. Substance पूरा ही है, पूरा ही है, सब कुछ ही देखो. Substance. Explain. Next question, fifth देखो. Explain the theory of Spinoza's substance. Repeated question, isn't it? Can you understand? Next. So this freedom, Sartre, you don't know. Right now we haven't studied Sartre. But can you tell me what is freedom in Spinoza's philosophy? Freedom is, अरे जो लाखरी में लिखा है, reason, adequate ideas, all of this. This is freedom, following your own nature. Okay, next. Why does Spinoza think that God alone is absolutely real? Because there will be only one substance and everything. He had this vision of, जब आप अपने notes पढ़ोगे तो आपने revise नहीं किए, उसमें क्या लिखा था? He had the vision of unity. देखो उसने revise किया. He had the vision of unity, that everything is connected. And if everything is connected, then there must be only one reality. And this reality is of God or substance. Can there be two substances? There can be only one substance. Geometric method, little bit, yes. You can mention. ये लिखना ही है सारा कुछ. देखो, in generally, I'll tell you, all the major headings of a philosopher should come in your answer. So sometimes it will only be a mention, and sometimes it will it will be a extension. So sometimes you will just mention things according to the geometric method. So examiner is reading, हाँ geometric भी बता दिया, हाँ parallelism भी बता दिया. So you should not, of course you have to put it in the context. ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब कहीं पर भी कुछ भी लिख दिया. Not like this. Appropriately use the keywords and the information. Clear? Next. Is the concept of freedom consistent with the theory of determinism of Spinoza? बताओ. Adequate ideas. What is the determinism of Spinoza? Inadequate ideas, external influence. जितनी भी कहानी हमने पढ़ी, geometric idea, geometric method से determinism, all of this will come here. And how his idea of freedom is consistent? Because he has based all of his theory on rationalism and reason. So his freedom is also based on rationalism and reason. So according to him, what is freedom? Being rational and being reasonable and following one's own nature. खुद की बात को फॉलो करना, एक्सटर्नल इन्फ्लुएंसेस के दबाव में, प्रभाव में नहीं आना. We should not get influenced by the external influences, rather follow our own nature. This is what freedom is. And if we follow our freedom, then what happens? अरे गुड लाइफ तो एंड है, उसके बीच की स्टेजेस तो बताओ. Conatus, blessedness, and then good life. Clear? You have to formulate your own answers. I have given you all the stuff. Now, how will you do it? Read it 20 times. अपने आप याद हो जाएगा. पढ़ने को बोला, याद नहीं. सिर्फ पढ़ लो. हाँ? क्या? Slow readers. How many of you are slow readers? Nine. So देखो, there are 2 or 3 things we have to be very clear about. First, if you are a slow reader, you will never be able to complete syllabus because syllabus is vast, and then you will never get time to revise. Because if you are just keeping one, supposedly you are studying, what are you studying in GS? Economics. So supposedly you are studying economics, and the whole day you take 2 classes and study economics, and the day ends. This means you are not efficiently doing economics. Can you understand? Because if you have taken a class, economics should not take this much time. At max, you have to do what? Revise your notes. 20 pages? 20 pages नहीं होंगे कभी वैसे, है ना? चलो ऐसा मान लो 10 class notes, 10 printed notes, or from book or whatever. 20 pages. How much time should 20 pages take? Take 2 hours. है ना? हाँ, yes. Oh, is it time? 5:24. Can you understand this? That you cannot waste whole of your day on this thing. Then next, what do you do? Again, just give me 2 hours. Just go and read these notes, your class notes, and then maybe printed notes. Then rakh do. Next day, read them once again, very fast, quickly. Then next day, just pick up and read. So when there is this 4th day, what will happen? Will it take 2 hours? 1 hour? 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Yes. Because your mind will start skipping things which it already knows. Problem with philosophy is that people become too granted, take it for too much of granted. है ना? After sixth reading, you will be like, पता है Spinoza. But problem is, it's fine. You still have to revise. Because till you don't have those words with you, you will not be able to write good answers. It is simple. Can you see the repeated questions? See, let's complete it. Every determination is a negation. Can you write? You know about this? Write a short critical essay on Spinoza's conception on freedom of the individual. Repeated question. What do you understand by Spinoza's statement? What is cannot be other than what is, what it is. क्या है ये? Determinism. भाई जो है वो वैसा ही रहेगा, कुछ चेंज नहीं होगा. Determinism. Repeated question. From necessity of divine nature, there must follow infinitely many ways. Explain this statement by Spinoza along with some possible criticisms. बताओ. What is the meaning of this question? पढ़ो दोबारा पढ़ो. पढ़ के बताओ. डिकोड करो. So now this is a question which can have interpretation. There are only 2 or 3 things in Spinoza's philosophy. One is substance and second is determinism and freedom. Only 2 topics. One is substance and another is determinism and freedom. Now read again. From the necessity of divine nature. What is the necessity of divine nature? Huh? What is the necessity of divine nature? Logical laws. There must follow infinitely many ways. मतलब cause and effect, it can lead to many things. So it is like भाई लॉजिकल लॉज से अगर आप रैशनल जाओगे तो क्या रास्ता बनेगा, और इमोशन से जाओगे तो क्या रास्ता बनेगा. If you go by rational being or being reason, then where will you go? And if you go by emotional being, where will you go? देखो 2 ही टॉपिक है, क्वेश्चन कुछ भी है. It's either connected to this or, and both of those topics are themselves connected. I gave you this example to show you कि कुछ भी आता है, अगर ऐसा भी कुछ आता है जो हमें नहीं पता, तब भी क्या करना है? क्या करना है? क्योंकि थ्योरी वही है. दिस इज द एसेंस. दिस इज द थ्योरी ऑफ टुडे. गो बैक and read this if possible, if your economics permits. Fine. Okay. Polity. Okay. Let's just show quickly.